The Rocky Outcrop Flash is an indicator which will help you trade. It helps people who are already proficient at technical analysis, and it helps new traders to stay aware of the likely moves in the market. It could be described as being like an exit indicator. It is indicative of the likely moves in the market to satisfy equilibrium points that the prices need to go to in order to continue in their trend, whether that's towards the top side or the downside. On the chart beside me right now, we have the live Bitcoin pricing. This is versus US dollar. It is completely usable on any chart for commodities, forex, stocks, shares, anything that you like. This is an example here using cryptocurrency. I've got a few things on the charts. Maybe they'd be distracting, so I'll just get rid of those moving averages. So the only thing that's here is the Rocky Outcrop Flash Indicator, and I've added it to my charts. I'll show you during this video how you can add it to your chart and how you can use it as part of your trading to keep you in profits. My name is Rocky Outcrop. I created this thing alongside my brother TradeSpotting, who you should check out on YouTube as well. TradeSpotting, youtube.com/c/tradespotting. This is the Rocky Outcrop Flash Indicator. What it does, like I said already, is it shows the price points which will be equilibrium points that the prices need to return to. And so often this is indicative of what the big fish are doing, the whales, the institutions, the big money. And therefore you could say that this is a smart money indicator, and it shows to you, the retail trader, what smart money is going to make happen, whether they know it themselves or not. This is not something which is being lifted out of an institution, although I did used to work in institutions myself. This is not something that's been taken from that. This is something that's been, it's unique here, invented, and it shows us a price point where we believe the prices are most likely to return to. We can see numerous instances of this thing working, and it seems to work exclusively to bring the prices back to that price point. We can show more examples of that in a minute, but first off, I'll just show you how you could have used this in this scenario right here. So we see the Bitcoin pricing. This is the 1 hour time frame, and there's a flash has appeared on the charts. Now, there will be several other kind of vertical looking lines, and they can give you warnings, but in terms of the primary use of this indicator, what you're really looking out for are these shaded areas. If the price might go towards the downside, then the shaded area will be red. If the price might go towards the top side, then the shaded area will be blue. You'll see a horizontal line which shows you the price point pretty much exactly where the prices will return to. In this example, in the 1 hour time frame, Bitcoin was putting in highs. When we look down below on the RSI, you can see that we were actually putting in bearish divergence along with these highs. You can see numerous other artifacts on other oscillators. But as an example, so you're using this alongside your technical analysis, seeing the bearish divergence appearing here and thinking about the resistance that's here on the charts from before, looking to the left and seeing that in the start of December, we had that high following the recovery, and that might have been a resistance point, thinking, well, this is an area where the prices are quite likely to experience people taking profits. In which case, you would have also have had this indicator on here showing you that the prices could very much go towards this price point, enabling you to take a short in around here, managing your risk. Now, we knew that 52,000 at this price was one of those areas. I've got lots of other technical reasons, such as these drawings on the charts, to give us that idea. So we could have easily have managed our risk, saying if the prices move up into 53,000, for example, that will relinquish that trade. Looking instead to short it down here towards 46,000, getting a nice 10% move, and having to experience just, a fraction of that in terms of the risk. So you could have potentially have risked a move from between 52 and, say, for example, 53, putting up $1,000 of risk there, which actually was far more than you would have needed to, in order to capture the move down here of $6,000 or $5,400 or so down to the move down here. So 1,000 versus 5,400. That's over 5 to 1 risk to reward. And as you can see, it was a very easy trade to be made with this armband on here, giving you that padded sides of the bowling ring, you know, which keeps your trading knowing where the markets are most likely to go to. Now, there is a chance, you know, less than 1 in 10 so far it looks like, although that's not written in stone yet. We're inventing this indicator here as a community, brand new here. We're inventing this, so you know the research is kind of remains yet to be done, but it does seem to be that it's less than a 1 in 10 chance that it won't go back to that area, giving you a 90% chance of success on a 5 to 1 risk to reward trade is unheard of. It's never been heard of in the entire history of thousands of years long of technical analysis. This is remarkable stuff, really, right here. So how would you get it? Okay, how would you get it? And then let's find a couple other examples of the thing, right? Just to kind of show you. So first off, you go over to patreon.com/Rocky Outcrop. You join up to the Patreon tier called Indicator tier. And once you've done that, you send me a message directly or you comment on the post, which is visible to you in the community section of Patreon there, and give me your TradingView name. And my TradingView name is Rocky Outcrop. So you can send me your TradingView name, and then I add it manually. That's unfortunately the way that has to work, but it's manual. So there's a slight lead time on that. Give me your name. I'll try and get it onto your charts within the day. Most instances when people have got it, it's been done within a couple of hours really of them sending me their username, but of course different time zones, etc. Now when I've added your access, how you would get it on there is you'd click on the indicator button at the top of the screen. Okay, that's actually hidden behind where I've positioned my chart there with the I've got this laid out for YouTube. You can see at the top end of TradingView, at the top side of the screen, there's a button that says indicators, and you click that and it brings up this screen. And most of you will be very familiar with it. If you've ever added any indicator before, then you've brought up that screen, and it's got an option here called invite only scripts. So you click on this invite only scripts, and this will be showing up. Now, if I've not added access yet, this option won't show up, but if I have, then it'll be there. Okie dokie. Right, so that's how you get it. Once you've added it to your chart, it will show up looking like this. So are there other examples out there? And of course, there are other examples. So how about we move away from cryptocurrency land and take a look over at GameStop. Now, I've not looked at the charts of this today. This video is actually filmed during a live stream originally. I say originally, but it's live right now for me. Oh, there's an example where it seems like the price has moved almost, you know, to this point, just exclusively for the purposes of filling in this flash. Again, giving you a great opportunity to get in on this whenever you saw that there was a double bottom coming in here and that we hadn't pushed past this previous low. We put in a higher low, wicked up, got a nice little candlestick formation, and off we go, and we're off to the races. Another successful trade. And we can just keep looking back. Now, there's a couple of good examples recently. I'm sure on this chart, the 15-minute chart, oh, there's another one right there at $148. That's handy. Well, there's other examples too, and this is one of the ones that I actually kind of wanted to show during this video to say, hey, look out for these sorts of things. Now, we had this little flash occurring here, and then in between there was a vertical flash. Gives you this idea that maybe this one is going to be less reliable than other flashes. Okay, that was interrupted by what was another negative flash that came on here, seeing that the prices would drop to 148. So the prices of GME started here around about 140, where we put in this first flash, pushed up. Then they went up higher, having put on another flash along the way at 148, higher and higher, up to $150, $160 at this point, $160. And then they turned back around and came down here. Where to? $148. $148. And when it happened at the time, the wick that came in first off, woof, just bounced off that area, and it was lovely to see. Anyway, then we did come on down the way a little bit further. Now, this is one of those things, right? Again, I showed you earlier how you could take a Fibonacci retracement, pop it on from the area, starting at the area of the low, taking it up to the high. So here's our high, here's our low. Let's just do this. Up here to that high, pop it on, and then look, here's the 113. Now we did push down past that level, just briefly, but we did. And then we got follow through in terms of the trend, a little bit lower. And we was asking the question at the time. Now we have a flash down here, but do you want it? Do you really want to see it? Just wanted to know. I just wanted to say, oh look, here's another advert for the indicator, right? Just wanted to know if you wanted to see that pricing at the time. Ultimately, then we did come down and look at this. It's almost as if the prices came specifically to this region for no other reason that TA could possibly really have identified for this flash. But I'll tell you, if you're using this flash, you'll so frequently see the prices returning to these equilibrium points. And the reason for it really behind the scenes is because, of course, big accounts need to see these levels get satisfied, and they do it through various mechanisms such as liquidity, stop hunts, etc. This wick that happened was very quick, and it allowed the satisfaction of this flash, and pretty much nothing else in the world technical analysis showing you that. This is a secret signal that gets delivered almost around the world, or else it's you could look at it like it's the operating in plain daylight. You know, the machinations and the manipulations of the market operating in plain daylight for you to see, but you've never been able to quite get your finger on the pulse or put your magnifying glass right in the right place to be able to do it. Well, this is what this does. This is what this is. And this is years, accumulation of years of work and research by myself and as well Tradespawn privately in the run up to ever telling anybody about this. And then it gave the indicator away for free for a year to test it, to see, and to get lots of feedback on it. And then as well, I've been distributing this in this format for the last number of months. Was absolutely wonderful feedback from people saying that it's absolutely showing them movements in the market that they would have never possibly anticipated otherwise. And I'm sure we could keep on bringing up examples. Well, I suppose since we're here doing this live in this show, and I am showing examples of how to use it, and somebody has asked me during the show to take a look at LRC, suppose we could go and take a look and see if there's anything that jumps out on any small time frames or anything like that, just to see if there's examples from the recent past of these flashes working. Here's an example where it worked. Here's another example where it worked again. Looking back and seeing, here's another example where it worked again. There's another perfect example of it working again. Both times as well, showing you with the potential for follow through in terms of the direction of the trend. In fact, you know, they were working pretty good for that all the way there. Again, two more examples just here and here of it working, and another example over here of it working again. I mean, looking back, and here's an example of it working, and another one of it working again perfectly. It did get interrupted, but we came there. Now, when things get interrupted, like this particular one just here, then you can look for them to be fulfilled in, to be hit eventually, maybe 4 times as well when the prices do actually go to those levels. So we have a vestigial one perhaps down here, 193. Let's go over to the right and see if that ever got hit again. So far it hasn't. Perhaps that's a target for us. And I know that would be kind of painful. You think, oh, the prices of LRC are at $2 at the minute. Could they really go another 5% on down towards that 192 area? Well, you know, they could, right? And when it comes to doing the technical analysis here, which I'll go on to do properly as a little clip and talk to people in my live show, and I'll say cheerio in terms of this little video, I'll be mentioning this flash and saying it's very, very, very hard to look anywhere else after you've seen and used this indicator on the charts for any amount of time. It just keeps on giving. It is really that good. Now, there's example after example, and you can find it more of them in the community. When you get the indicator, you'll also have access to the Discord community. The Discord community has got a lot of people in it that use the indicator and talk about it, and it's full of wonderful, amazing people. You may already be a member as well of that. So you'll get access to that, and of course, there'll be plenty more examples of that in there in the chat, and people who can talk about it with you. But there are some people out there who, for one reason or another, don't use Discord or haven't got that quite yet figured out along with the indicator, and are just trying to get this started. And hopefully this answers a lot of those questions for you. Thank you so much for thank you so much for your interest in the thing. It's truly is remarkable. I think that it'll become, you know, world famous at some point in the future, but you're right here on the very beginnings of this thing. So thanks. Oh, aye, and by the way, before I actually go, your support is massively appreciated, you know? It means an awful lot. And happy hodl days. If you're watching this later, then hope it's nice weather. It's cold at the minute. But it's hodl days. See ya.